Hi there, this is Chabrol from Chabrol Films, and welcome to part 21 of my Claude Chabrol season. And this film is Betty from 1992, starring Marie Trintignant and Stéphane Audran, or Claude Chabrol's wife. This is available in the Essential Chabrol Volume 1 DVD set from Artificial Eye. Again, Chabrol films and Blu-ray are sadly pretty much non-existent, and that needs to be rectified by somebody or other. So this is a film that, I'll be honest, didn't really grab me. I didn't find it that engaging. However, I could be wrong, and obviously I'll be watching it again at some point, so my opinion might change. It's 105 minutes long, and it tells the story of Betty, played by Marie Trintignant, who we first see coming into a bar not in a very good shape after she has agreed to leave her rich husband and her 2 children because of her infidelities. She has been cast adrift by this well-to-do family, and she's drinking herself into stupor, and she meets Stéphane Audran's character, who has been recently widowed, or 4 years ago was widowed, not that recent, who runs a hotel that nobody seems to be in, with her lover, and this immediate kind of a mother and daughter relationship kind of blossoms, but then Betty gets involved with Stéphane Audran's character's lover herself. There's really not much to the film. This one was written by Chabrol's daughter, I believe. Again, he went through a period later in his career where it was more of a family affair. His son would do the music. His daughter would be involved in aspects of the films as well. And for me, during this kind of period, he kind of lost a bit of his authorship, a bit of his kind of stamp on his films. But we'll see as we go further into his filmography, because I have about another 9 of his films to go through. This one is well acted. Stéphane Audran, while she might be, it's 22 years since Le Boucher, she's still on wonderful form. Marie Trintignant gets to go through the gamut of emotions as a woman whose self-destructive nature, but also fragility at times at losing her children. She gives a good performance as well, but again, for me, it's not that engaging, or I just didn't find it engaging as much as his other films. Again, the characters for me, you don't really care for them or about them or about what happens to them as much as other Chabrol films. And again, I don't know whether it would have been different if Isabelle Huppert, for example, was playing Betty. Obviously she's made a lot of films, quite a lot after this point with Chabrol, but obviously she did A Story of Women, which is fantastic, which I've done a video on. So again, it's unfair on Marie Trintignant to say, oh well, it would be better if Isabel Huppert was in it. Because that's harsh. Because I just think there's something about the whole film that just isn't that engaging. It's 105 minutes, and it probably could have easily been 90 minutes. Again, there's not a lot of visual flair from Chabrol in this film. It's a lot of it takes place just in rooms. There is a kind of flashback structure from Betty's childhood, her friendship with the young maid of the house, how she kind of went under her wing, tried to be like her in some ways. That's some form of explaining her promiscuousness at times, that eventually led to her downfall of having like the perfect life, i.e. money, a husband and children. But the film kind of ends not quite as downbeat as you might think, even though it's downbeat for a certain character. So for me, again, this is going to be a short video because I don't really have that much to say about the film. It's a good film, it's well made, well acted, but again, like I say, just for me, it's not that engaging. The story's not that interesting to me. Obviously, please let me know in the comments if this is your favourite Chabrol film or you really like this film, and that's perfectly alright. My opinion is not fact. Yeah, it's always good to see Stéphane Audran, one of my favourite actresses, and obviously she did great work in the 70s with Chabrol, and then got married to him. Yeah, so that's Betty. So apologies for the short video, but I'm not really going to spend too much time talking about Betty, because for me it's an okay film, but certainly if I'm going to recommend like 10 Chabrol films that you must watch, Betty's probably not going to be on that list. So next up is L'Enfer from 1994, which I'm looking forward to because I think I saw that probably about 20 years ago. I haven't seen it since, so I'm looking forward to re-watching that one. So thanks very much for watching this very short video on Betty from 1992 by Chabrol, and hopefully you'll join me for episode 22 of my Chabrol journey. This is Solitary Ronin, making just a cameo performance, saying farewell.